All right, come on, watch us fight the Chargers this coming weekend. What's up, everybody? This is Rob and Sleep, and this is our weekly Brown show. How you doing today, man?
What up, y'all? Doing good, bro. How you feeling?
I'm feeling like another win this week.
Yeah, man. This gonna be tough, though. This gonna be tough.
We're gonna be joined by the third head of the three-headed monster here in a few minutes. And then get his head out of WWE. Roman Reigns is not going to beat Brock Lesnar at the next pay-per-view, so stop looking at it. All the wrestling fans out there. So, Sleepy.
Yes, sir.
Let's review last week's game. I feel like the Browns. Listen. Okay, let me put it this way. On the show before that, I thought we were going to pretty much, mop Minnesota. I didn't know Minnesota was the truth. Yeah. Minnesota is the truth. The games that they had lost were really close to like some really good teams. And there
was only one game. They actually was I think they hadn't lost a game before. No, yeah. You're right. They was very close games by a field goal. I think in both of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't do my research. I didn't know. Sorry, Minnesota fans. I ain't know. I didn't know I like that. But Minnesota is the truth, man. That was a hard victory and one that we kind of deserved that time. But you said something real interesting before we started the show. Why don't you tell the audience what you said about the phases?
I think we there was 3 phases to the game, and I think we won 2 of the 3 phases. So I think the defense did well, special teams did well, especially with the kicker. And with the offense, Baker struggled. So with 2 or 3 phases, if we can win 2 or 3 phases of the game, we got a chance to win every week. Hopefully we can get it all in line where all 3 phases work, and then we'll be golden. Because here's the funny thing. Beginning of the season, what we was worried about, we said the offense was going to be great, and we was worried about defense and the kicker. And the defense and the kicker is what did it, and so that's where we was at.
Right. So with the offense not playing well, I mean, don't get me wrong. That I felt like we did what we were supposed to do. I love that we ran the ball. I don't know what the hell. Oh my God, they were killing me. We got down to what we were like inside the 5-yard line, and we threw it like 3 straight times.
There was
and just so happened they got a penalty that gave us first down again, right?
Dude, we had 7 tries in the red zone to get into the end zone.
I'm like, what the hell? We got 2 of the best running backs in the NFL, and we can't get 5 yards inside the 5-yard line. We got to throw the ball. I was sitting there like this, like the whole time. Like okay, so
it seemed like more of an agenda than a game plan, because the game plan, if we go by analytics says we run the ball in.
Yeah,
that's what the analytics
we ended up doing.
It seemed to be that they was trying to get Baker his touchdowns because he hasn't gotten many touchdowns this season. So it seemed like that's what they was trying to focus on, so they can get that up.
What, do one of the coaches?
Let's win the game.
Got Baker on his fantasy team or something?
Right. Right. I'm like, what is the deal? 7 tries.
Yeah,
7 tries. The only other time that was worse than that was with Freddie Kitchens. When we had Freddie Kitchens, I think he had 8 tries. Bring that up. Yeah. And then we ended up, and we didn't. At least we scored this time. We didn't even score.
Right. So because we scored, it kind of got swept under the rug a little bit. Like fans were like, "Oh, okay, we scored." But man, that really kind of concerned me about the play calling a little bit. Was that the series where Odell did that in and out, and Baker just overthrew him real bad on a corner route?
I believe that was that play.
Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, what are they trying to do here? Like, this should be easy. You got two of the best running backs in the NFL, on paper and in like some people say that, oh, I got the best running back, but it's on paper. We legit got the
Right.
best tandem running backs in the NFL, and felt like we couldn't get 3 yards or something like that. So that really kind of worried me.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm about to say something that's go let's go ruffle some feathers.
Oh, not more than Dave Chappelle, I hope.
Oh, hey, that's an excellent. You seen this new special?
Yeah.
It's the best. We'll talk about that later.
Hey, yeah, let's talk about it later before we get canceled.
Right. I don't think this is the team for Odell Beckham. I think
Really?
Odell Beckham is a great player. I think Odell Beckham with this team is a Chad Johnson to me. So everybody's living off of the things that Odell did in the past, things that Odell did in 2014 and 2015. Those are the things people remember. It's kind of like, oh man, I love a certain play from a long time ago, and that's just amazing.
Well, did we do that? We did that with Josh Gordon. We did that with Josh Gordon for like 5 years.
Yeah, we can't
remember that one play he made.
We get so attached to greatness that we scared to let it go. Like, let him be great. He's not great here. Here's his benefit. He got 1,000 yards the year he was here under Freddie Kitchens' system, which was amazing. But I feel as if, and I don't think Odell Beckham can run routes. I don't think he's a route runner. I think he does some good things. When Eli was throwing to him, Eli made a mention of that. But we just got to get these guys to follow their routes a long time ago.
Yeah.
And Chad Johnson's problem was Chad Johnson couldn't run routes. That's why he was great in Cincinnati. But when he got to New England, which is specific, he didn't make it.
Yeah, be here at 3 seconds and be here in 5 seconds.
That pass that Baker threw to him was supposed to be have you seen the Browns play? When Baker throws those passes, they're outside shoulder passes. They're outside shoulder passes.
Right.
And the pass went to the sideline, and he was running straight. And when Baker explained it to the media, he said, "Oh, I should have communicated where I actually wanted to throw the ball, and I didn't do." He was taking the heat for this man, and so I just feel as if it's been 2 years, man. Most people get chemistry. What's his name? Most people get a chemistry in the preseason, and he's not playing preseason games. He's not practicing with them in the off season.
Yeah. Well, one thing that's something that I think Dane brought it up last show is that Baker can't throw with touch. Like everything it got to be zipped in or hard, or I'm gonna throw it through 5 defenders and stick it to the receiver's chest. Like, and when balls are like too high or a little far, the receiver don't even have an opportunity to kind of catch up with it because it's not thrown with any touch at all. You know what I mean? So he has a tendency to overthrow people and crap like that. I will say his accuracy has improved to me, personally. But when you can only throw the ball one way, you're gonna have those times where it looked like it's the receiver that did something wrong, but you just threw the damn ball too hard. You know what I'm saying? I mean, anybody that has gone outside and played some street football, you know what I'm saying, throwing the ball to people, dude is slow a little bit. I got to ease up on my, strength a little bit just so he can kind of run and catch it. And I think he don't really have touch like that, at least at this point. I haven't seen him throw one of them long sort of bombs that kind of fall into the receiver's hands. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you know if he has the ability to throw a pass like that. Have you seen him?
I've seen him throw some. I've seen him throw some when he threw some to last year when what's the dude's name? The dude from Michigan, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Mm-hmm. He had several of those last year, and then even to the rookie we got this year. What's the speedster? The Schultz. What's his name? Schultz. The small guy. The one that's like,
I know you're talking about.
His long pass that he had to him was that, but the offense isn't isn't doing. I mean, they keep trying to hit on long passes and they're not hitting on them. I think Coach Stefanski said something which made a lot of sense. He said that he said, "Listen, we find what a problem is." He said, "We coach to it and we fix it." He said, "The issue with the kicking." He said, "We coached to that. We fixed it." Everybody was talking about the issues with the defense after the first game. We found out what the problem is. We coached to it and we fixed it. He said, "This is now on the long passes." Yeah. So the long passes are not hitting where they're supposed to hit. We're going to coach to it and we're going to fix it. So I think we'll be okay. I think the biggest mistake we made was not playing these starters during the preseason. Mm-hmm. Because now we're using week 1, 2, 3, and 4 as our preseason games in live action games. You know.
All right, I agree with that.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the Patriots play. The Bucks play New England, right? Because everybody was watching that game. Everybody wanted to see how Brady was going to do against his former team, and there were passes there. Like, I think Brady is like rated like number 1 as far as like the best quarterbacks or something like that in the NFL. I remember I was looking at Undisputed and Shannon and Skip was arguing about it. And Shannon was like, "He's not the best, Skip." Yeah. And Skip was like, "He is the best." You know, they kind of go back and forth. But anyway, what I saw from Brady was the ability to lead receivers, to drop the ball in. There's times when he steps back and he throws the ball up, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, he just threw that out of bounds," and it falls like literally right in the receiver's hand, like if it was a baby, it would be like perfectly safe. And I'm like, I don't see many quarterbacks that can throw different styles like that. I mean, you know, he kind of knows based on the route how I need to throw this ball, and I feel like I'm just not seeing that necessarily from Baker, at least not on a high level, you know, like Brady can do it. And, you know, Brady is the GOAT. So,
well, you're talking about 20 years with different receivers every year compared to 3 years, compared to 3 years, really, if you don't count Freddie Kitchens' year. So Baker got some growth to do. He's not, we can't compare him to Brady. And I don't compare anybody to Brady right now. But there is some guys that Brady made some mistakes too during that game. He missed some folks too in that game. But Brady does have Brady's work ethic is a lot. Baker's trying to get there, but Brady's work ethic is so, I don't think anybody matches that. When COVID first started, the NFL was saying, "Hey, you guys should not be practicing with your receivers and stuff like that or whatever because you know COVID and stuff."
What? And Brady
didn't give a darn. He didn't care. He was out there. They used to have video. That was the only thing they had to show on NFL Network was because they was the only people that was out there working, and Brady was out there working. And they was like, "Well, why are you you're not wearing a mask or anything?" Like, "I got some work to do."
Yeah,
you know. So he was, and that was the first year he was with that team.
Right. He's like, I'm too rich to get COVID.
Yeah. He's like, "I'm Tom Brady. I don't eat bread.
I don't. Yeah.
I had an avocado smoothie.
COVID is in bread. I don't eat bread, so I'm good."
Right. So I think it's his work ethic is on 20 years of work ethic, and he's worked with every type of receiver. That dude's a monster. For Baker, I think his work ethic is getting there. I think because I see him working in the offseason with his receivers and stuff, but I think part of that is playing. I think they play during some of that time, and then just let's shoot a video of us practicing. Then they go have some drink. Oh, Lord have mercy. Is that his torn labrum?
Yeah. I mean,
you crazy, man.
That he's been torn labrum.
Your audio's going in and out. I'm sorry.
Okay, I might be dropping. Go ahead and take over for a second.
That's a funny picture, man. Now, I will say in Baker's defense, that is the wrong shoulder. But the point is made. I get you.
I'm trying to get my screen back. Hold on, my connection. Here we go. Okay. So,
That looked like Stefanski giving him the finger.
Yeah, it kind of did. Like, hey, get your ass on the field. I don't care about that shoulder.
Right.
But if he tried to get out there and make a tackle week 1, and when he went off the field, his arm was limp. And I was thinking to myself, I thought he broke his collarbone, honestly. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, he about to be out for a minute. And when he came on the field, I was like, okay, that they gave him a nice little shot when he went back.
Right.
They gave him a nice little cortisone or whatever that is they give you, and bring him back. And I just knew he was going to be out for like a week or two, but he never sat out. But I am wondering now if he does have some sort of a problem with his shoulder. Is it affecting it? It's not his throwing shoulder, they said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's his left. It's on his left arm, so it's his non-throwing shoulder.
What do you think? You think that's messing with him?
So yes and no. So no, I don't think it's affecting him because they said he's making the throws in practice, right? Mm-hmm. When you get into a game, adrenaline is something different, and if something on this side is hurting, it can still throw your balance off. So you kind of compensate for that. His arm, he said his arm is, every time they ask him about his arm, he's like, oh, it's still attached, right? But it's hanging down.
That's not good, though.
Right, and it's hanging down.
What kind of crap is that?
Right, and it's hanging down, and, when you go feel some of that. So sometimes you overcompensate. I do believe Baker has always done that. If he's had a bad game, he comes back the next game, and it's like brilliant. My concern is if during this game against the Chargers, he's not great or he's having the same game. If he's having the same game, I would say sitting down and put what's his name in at least for 2 weeks, same way as they should do the left tackle, to at least let them heal and not have to use his arm and all that kind of stuff, and then get back into the game.
Fans would shoot you in your face. Are you serious right now? You can't sit Baker down.
I would sit him down. If he plays this game this week and he's not well, the smart decision would be it's just a labrum on the other arm, so he can be healed in 2 weeks.
That's a 2-week injury.
Yeah, for a non-throwing arm. Yeah, he already wearing a little brace. It's not about that. Let him be able to heal for the 2 weeks. Let his muscles heal together. I think he'll be fine. They said it's going to be a surgery that he'll probably need in the off season. So, but if he gets 2 weeks, the rest, I think he'll be fine. I think they need to sit him and the left tackle for 2 weeks. Not the Chargers game, but the next 2 games are a little softer. The softer games, I think, what's his name can handle those games because we're a running team anyway right now. So let's focus on more on running the ball, and then Case Keenum can throw the ball when we need to. Right, he ain't got to throw 300 yards.
Now that's something that we could talk about because I'm not sure if I'm leaving Baker in there to have Joey Bosa all over his ass. I think our tackle on that side is hurt. Our starting.
Yeah, our starting left tackle. Yeah,
our starting left tackle I think maybe hurt. Mm-hmm. So I really
and the backup.
Yeah, right.
The backup is hurt too. Yeah. And so like last week they used the rookie. They used the rookie for like the second half of the game, I think. Mm-hmm. So, but he held his own. You know what I'm saying? But he's a rookie, and he ain't go against Joey Bosa. You know, so that's different.
Yeah, Bosa's in beast mode right now, so I'm really concerned about that.
And he talking trash with it too.
Is he?
Yeah, you see, like when they was playing against Oakland last week, and they was asking about he like yeah, they're like, how did you I seen that you guys were able to kind of shut him down. Like he like, yeah, we knew going into the game, all we had to do was hit him a little bit and he'll fold. He folded. So that's all we need to do. And then when they started coming back, we was like, you know what, let's just go hit him again. Like he was.
So I'm concerned about that. Baker gets a little happy feet. They like to call these little rollouts, play action rollouts and stuff like that. And I'm like, that concerns the shit out of me. Now, to be truthful, the Chargers do have a huge weakness in the running game. Like I think they're ranked pretty low in defending against the run. They're like one of the worst run defense teams. Yeah. So I'm feeling right now like we may actually see, I don't know how many runs, runs and screens and, just short outs and stuff like that, passes in the flat because since San Diego, the Chargers are susceptible to that. I want to call them San Diego because that was like my favorite team growing up.
Right. I think those numbers are skewed.
Yeah.
So yeah, meaning I do think that they had, as far as the numbers against the defense, I mean against the run, they were outscoring people. So teams couldn't run anymore. Like same thing with the
Okay.
Chargers. I mean with Kansas City when they played Kansas City and they beat Kansas City. Kansas City couldn't run the ball anymore because they had like 30 points. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
some of those run numbers can be skewed because if you can't run the ball anymore because you need to pass. Like same thing with Oakland. Oakland
Yeah.
had to stop running the ball because they needed to catch up. Then once they caught up, like when it became 14-21, then they started running the ball again with Jacobs. So I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes those numbers can be skewed because they scoring like they like that AFC West is that's a crazy division, dude. I used to think the AFC North was was the toughest division, but the AFC West that's a tough division, bro.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a tough division. You got the Chargers. Oakland is starting to make some. I mean, Oakland. Y'all doing the same thing you did.
Right. Right.
Las Vegas is starting to make some noise. You got Kansas City, who's always been at the top. That's a scary division, man.
Now, Justin Herbert, the Chargers quarterback,
Mhm.
this kid is good.
Yeah,
This kid is probably going to be their starting quarterback for the next, 8 years or something like that.
yeah, and I don't see no sophomore slumping. He got a new head coach and offensive
Yeah,
coordinator. He got better.
this kid is good. Now, our secondary played like our secondary. Dude, I got to give it up for our secondary. Like the defensive stars have been our defensive line for like the last few games, but man, our secondary was on it last week.
Yeah,
Like just
even
last
Greedy came back.
Yeah, dude. I was like, man, I was really impressed with our secondary last week, even though they're playing with some injuries. And I
Right.
was like, okay, because we needed that. I mean, a couple of those passes get, completed, and we talking about a different outcome from
Right,
last week.
and they was
Because
knocking them
remember, the
down,
Browns,
man. They was
right?
knocking them down.
The Browns went 3-and-out, in that fourth quarter a couple of times with like under 5 minutes, and I'm like, are we trying to let Minnesota win this
They
game?
said Minnesota only got across the 50-yard line twice in that game.
And
The whole
once was like after
game.
a turnover or something, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so so I'm
They're like,
like,
do they was at the game like, do they have a red zone here? They have a red zone.
yeah, it's down there. It's down there about 45 yards.
We was like, I don't know. It's your stadium. Don't y'all have a red zone?
Yeah, I gotta admit, I was concerned. I thought we were going to win that game, but when we got in it, I was concerned because I was like, Minnesota did what? I literally haven't been watching football as much as I normally do, so I didn't know Minnesota was a truth like that. So,
Mhm.
now that I've kind of like read some of the numbers, San Diego is no slouch. San Diego, the Chargers ain't no slouch either, man,
Mhm.
because they rank pretty high in some different categories. Austin Eckler is a really good running back.
That's gonna be we gonna have a problem with him. We're gonna have a
Eckler, you
problem
think?
with Austin Eckler, man. Yeah, Austin Eckler is a problem. Like we played running backs so we played Kansas City, whose running back was the rookie. He was coming off of an injury. The
Yeah.
second team we played was who we played?
Bears?
Huh?
It wasn't the Bears, was it? Was it?
Yeah, it was the Bears.
Okay.
And Montgomery is nice, so I can't take nothing away from Montgomery.
Yeah.
The running back we had last week against what's the name? He was coming off of an injury, so that was coming off. But this dude is completely healthy. This dude, his upper body strength is ridiculous. They gonna get tired of trying to tackle him.
Dude,
He's gonna be the same. You know what he is? He's the same as let's see, not Chubb, but our other running back.
Hunt.
Yeah, he's like Hunt on their team. He runs violently.
Yeah.
That's gonna be he gonna be I think he's gonna be the problem on that team. I think we can work with the Chargers with their receiving core. I think we can work with them. I mean, and what's his name is nice, and we'll be getting after him. But I think that run defense is gonna have to show up because I think
yeah. We only a 2.5 point favorite, I think, in this game.
yeah.
So this game is really sort of a toss up. I think we were a bigger favorite against Minnesota.
Are we the favorite? I thought it was the Chargers was the favorite.
Nah, we're plus Well, we're +2. Does that mean? Oh no, that's right. If we're +2, that means
Yeah,
the Chargers are the favorite, right?
right. Yeah,
Okay.
because before
So we'd have to
before
beat them
Monday
in one
night,
three.
before Monday night, it was even. It was
Oh, okay.
even. But then the Chargers played Monday night,
Yeah. Right.
and then they ended up getting the edge. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Exactly. So.
it's gonna
Ah,
be it's
so
gonna be that's gonna be a it's gonna be a this could be a real live game. I'm hoping. I'm kind of glad that happened with Baker last week, so he could be pissed off. I like when Baker play mad. I like when Baker play mad. I really do. I
you,
like when
you think you're gonna
I
wake
feel
up
like
feeling
he got
dangerous?
something to prove. It's a different Baker, and that's what people can say what they want to say about Baker. Baker's a good quarterback. Everybody didn't have a bad game. He had no worse a game than Aaron Rodgers had week 1, and
Okay.
and Aaron Rodgers threw two interceptions that game, and his
I think.
quarterback rating was a 38.
Well,
So
I think what's glaring is that when you got Odell Beckham and y'all not hooking up, that's what people focus on. I mean, he didn't like you said, he's not a bad quarterback at all. But when you got a star like Odell Beckham and you are obviously missing him, you know what I mean? There was like at least 3 plays where they were just not on the same page.
that's
I
been the
mean,
problem, man. And so that means the problem is Odell. I say it too. I tell his mama, he the problem. He the problem. How is it? Here's you said after week 1 or before week 1. It was either after week 1 or before week 1. You like, you know what? I think they're playing a system. That Baker is playing a system. So which means he's throwing to a spot.
yeah,
That's what you said.
right.
If that's
Yeah.
I'm kind of firmly believing that. It don't matter who you plug in, they need to be running to whatever that spot is, and they'll be available. He did excellent last year. He did excellent in the game against Kansas City. When he was playing in Kansas City, which he did not play.
Yeah.
And now he's missing him.
Yeah.
The the person that's the problem is him.
Okay.
It's been the problem the whole time.
Right.
He ain't in the spots he's supposed to be, man. I don't really think he can run routes. I really don't think so. And I think if we was to trade him, I don't know. I may be unpopular on it. I don't know why we keep trying to hold on to this guy who's not making our quarterback look good.
He would be a beast in Kansas City, man. Odell.
Yeah, I hope he would.
Yeah.
Because they got what's his name? Another former Browns receiver over there. Maybe they can have two. Got Josh Gordon over there.
Josh Gordon, right?
Yeah, they got Josh Gordon, right?
Yeah, I know he signed over there, but he's on the practice squad, I think.
They said he's starting Sunday.
No, don't say that. Are you serious?
That's what the head coach said.
Be in shape.
Head coach said he's starting him on Sunday. He's going to be in the game.
Dude, he hasn't done any. I mean, because his suspension.
They probably just got him for like three or 4 plays or something. No, his suspension over with.
Well, right, but when you suspended, you can't even work out with a team, right?
Yeah, but they released his suspension before he got signed. His suspension was over. They reinstated him, so his suspension was over with.
Right, but but that was when, like recently, right?
It was like 2 weeks. That was last week, and then they picked him up like Friday or Saturday,
right?
And they playing him this week.
So what I'm saying is, football players have been working out since April. You know what I'm saying? They've been getting in shape like for the last 6 months, and they've had 4 preseason games, and we're 4 games into the season. And this dude, unless he's been working out NFL level workouts, why are you putting him on the field right now?
They thirsty. They thirsty. They think he the Incredible Hulk. Just go turn into something. They think he'll turn into 2014 all over again.
Is he still in good shape? I haven't seen him. He was always in great.
He was always in natural good shape. Like I don't think he even had to work out much. Like his body was always in a.
Don't you hate dudes like that?
Shape.
Don't you hate dudes like that, man?
Yeah, I do.
It's just always in shape. When I just to go off script for a second, when I go to my little class reunions or my little high school, get-togethers and stuff like that, I be thinking to myself, oh, okay, he was a quarterback or a running back in school, but there's no way he's still in shape. Why he's still in shape?
Right. He's still in shape. Ain't seen a gym.
Right.
He ain't ate a Slim Jim. Nothing.
Right. I'm like, why are you still in shape, dude? Oh,
I just eat ramen noodles and eat cake.
Yeah. Dude, they open the rallies 2 miles from me. I pick up 20 pounds. I don't even go. They just open it up next to me. I'm like,
I
there's
was
a
like,
rally close to me. But yeah, I mean, if he's like that, man, just one of them naturally in good shape dudes, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But still, though,
he still needs to get in football shape. So they probably just got like 4 or 5 plays scripted out for him. That's
yeah,
the only thing I can think of.
right. They say Deion Sanders, even at the age he is now, could probably still run a 4.5.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like 55 years old. He could probably still run a 4.5, 4.6.
I want to give a shout out to Deion Sanders too with what he's doing with the HBCUs, man. I just as a side note, I think what he's about to change how sports look at HBCUs, and it's probably going to be a massive change in the next like 2 years, probably.
They worked out some sort of TV contract, right?
Yeah. Did you hear what that dude? He called out. He called out BET, Oprah Network. He like, y'all got these networks and y'all not playing no HBCU games.
Right.
We can't get on TV and y'all got your own network.
Right. And these schools could use the money too, man.
And if they get and if they start getting that, ESPN and them go have to get in that. That's going to be a whole nother opportunity for HBCU students, and they don't have to go to Alabama. They don't have to go to these schools where the academics and all that kind of stuff got to be super high or very stringent to get into. They can go to their own schools and bring money. These HBCUs are struggling as far as getting money and funding.
Yeah,
that is exactly what they need is some television funding. So I just want to say, side note, what Deion Sanders is doing, I think is amazing, and I give a shout out to him.
The level of play got to be good too, though. I mean, I haven't really watched a lot of HBCU football games, but they got to have a high level of play too. I don't even know how many kids even get drafted from HBCUs.
Not a lot, because they don't get any television time.
Right.
You understand? So if they get in television time now, the only time we get is if they got like Grambling versus, if it's a college classic, if it's a classic or something, they have like a game on. But imagine if they give them a game a week for 12 weeks, you know what I mean, in them schools, and they saying this school is really good. Okay, yeah, let's start showing them. So now some good players who are not going there, let's start going to those schools. The reason they're not going to this is because they're not getting no publicity and they want to go to the NFL. So what if now they have the opportunity to?
Well, tell me something too. I mean, every time they do these college bowl championships, I never see any HBCUs up for, the Orange Bowl or the Gator
because
Bowl.
They don't have them, and they're not considered Division I schools. They're not considered those type of schools. They have their own HBCU. They only play HBCU. You ain't gonna see Alabama play Grambling. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to get beat by Grambling and have to give them time. It's been so much stuff going up against these HBCUs. Dude, they just put a dude in the NFL Hall of Fame last year who was a coach, who was on the Steelers, because he went out and got some players from HBCUs and they became Pro Bowlers.
Wow.
And so he's now in the Hall of Fame because they expanded it to be, they wasn't even getting players from HBCUs. He was the first person to do it.
I know these HBCUs probably got some dogs too, man.
They do. You got it. He's hungry. You talking about some hungry people that's going like he came from a struggling family. He's a great running back. Imagine the dude that came from a struggling family and couldn't get into these big schools, and now he at Tri-C.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they get on, and this gonna be their week. They gonna be on TV. Man, do you know what he about to do?
He's about to have 350 yards in the first quarter.
You know what he about to do? This your chance, Leroy. This your chance, bro. It's over with.
I tell you, man. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Because I think that mixture would definitely help. This boom of black quarterbacks in the NFL makes it where black quarterbacks are going to start getting looks if they could play that sort of pass run sort of hybrid. I mean,
how many times you go play Moesha?
Yeah, right.
You'll be playing a football game from one of our HBCUs.
Yeah, when we was coming up, it was only a few quarterbacks that could play like that. Randall Cunningham and Vic. Hold on, Dame just came in. Let me bring him in real quick and catch him up.
No problem. Yeah, because Dame said he agreed with me about Beckham being traded when we talked about it earlier.
Oh no! I definitely did not say that. Apologies for being so late in the show, but I definitely did not ever agree.
Hey, what you said?
No, not even close. So
I thought that was your Lorna Doones tech of the week.
Oh, no, we need Odell.
Sponsored by Lorna Doones.
Yeah.
You said we need Odell?
Oh yeah, we need Odell.
Well, that's what we were just saying. That if we're playing a system, it doesn't matter the player. It matters who fits best in the system. And Odell right now is not fitting the system because he's kind of doing his own thing when he runs his routes.
He's drawing his own plays in the sand. He's drawing his own plays in the sand and ain't telling nobody which plays here.
I had to go back and look, and Odell is actually considered one of the best route runners in the NFL. That's one of his key qualities. So it's not that he's running bad routes. Last week was just a bad week. Baker, in particular, had a bad game, and I think part of that is because Minnesota knows Stefanski so well. If you notice, our game was very low scoring because both offenses knew what each other was going to do so well that our defenses just looked outstanding. And I think that had a lot to do with Baker. Some of the Odell and Baker timing is a little bit off. But that I don't think that last week has any reflection. I think the first week that Odell came back and he had 5 catches for 57 yards or something, but they was connecting. It looked good. I think that's more of an indication of what we got going forward. Last week, I just chalk up to offenses knowing each other. That's all it was. It was just neither team could do nothing offensively because everybody knew what everybody was going to do, basically.
I'm going to say I trust a little bit. We talked about this earlier in the week, Damon. I think I trust what you say more now, probably because that clean-ass lineup you got on your little beard game right now looks crazy,
I did that myself.
Got to trust a man with a clean lineup like that, bro.
Hey, I did that straight for the show, too. I did this myself for the show. I normally don't charge with anybody looking.
Yeah, but good points on that. Yeah, they did. The offense, that was another thing we didn't talk about, Rob, was that, the offenses did know each other. What I was telling him that we missed was that I thought overall the Browns did well because there's 3 phases to the game, and they won 2 out of the 3 phases, I think. I think the defense won. I think the special teams won with the kicking game. I thought that was great. The only issue we had was with the offense, and it really was just because Baker had a bad week.
Yeah, Baker had a bad week, and they knew he was going to throw. And I actually, as far as that particular game, we actually won on offense as well because we scored more points.
They had more yards.
Yeah, it was a chess match. It was a chess match.
When you put our running game in there, it's just automatic.
Oh yeah, I mean, because some things you can't account. You don't know. You know that Chubb and you know that Hunt are going to be dominant every week. You just don't know which one is going to be dominant and to what effect.
Yeah.
You know? And our tight ends, even though we kind of played them to the back end now, although they're not dominant, they're solid.
Yeah.
When we need a first down, when we need something, they're there. We have 3 great tight ends. Most teams don't have 1. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we got 3 tight ends that can block, run route. Well, excuse me. 2 tight ends that can block and run routes and catch passes. 3 that can run routes and catch passes. Yeah, and Njoku, that's not what he signed up for. Okay?
Right. Right.
I will admit, man, those tight ends are great red zone targets.
That's the one Gronkowski trait he does not have is the block.
Yeah. That's not what he doing. That's not his. He didn't sign up for that. I'm not blocking. I'm not doing none of that. I came here to catch the ball. I'm just too big and too slow to be a receiver. You know?
Right. I play Olay defense. When they on their way, I'm like, Olay.
Hey, I'm surprised he ain't got a rose in his teeth sometimes. Like, make it look good for him.
Right.
But I thought, like I told you, Rob, last week, Sleep, you wasn't here. The defense, the offense, though, should be, even though that was a week where we was going up basically against our Lex Luthor, if you're thinking like mentally, I want to see us try and get 30 points a game. That should be the goal. Yeah. The offense should be designed to make at least 30 points a game. And if it don't happen because somebody's just not executing like Baker, then it just don't happen. You know what I'm saying?
The Baker Odell situation, is it you're saying that it's Baker's fault, not Odell?
I don't think there is a Baker Odell situation. I think that
that's interesting.
I don't think that it's them two do not have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Well, but I think that the because Odell became such a big star, and Baker is such a huge personality, becoming a big star, that we're kind of forcing it because Cleveland not used to having all that talent. Because you got to think, if this was LA, if this was anywhere, a big city where we was used to having 4 stars or 3 stars at a time, this wouldn't be a problem. But because it's Cleveland, if it doesn't work like we think it should work, if it was LA or New York or Chicago or a bigger spot, we're gonna make an issue out of it. When really it's just the fact that Odell came here, our organization was trash when he got here. Mm-hmm. All right, it was being fixed up. Baker has talent, but no, he's not Lamar. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's a short range, efficient quarterback who can get hot. You know what I'm saying? He's not the most athletic, and that's what most of the league is looking for as far as highlights. They're looking for an athletic quarterback, like you're gonna see this week coming up against Justin Herbert. You know, Justin Herbert run around and he a little bigger. Baker is smaller. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot goes against Baker, but what goes for Baker is that he's such a big personality and he's a leader. He's a true leader. And that's what I think
he's become that. I feel like we talked about that before. He's become that.
He always been a leader. It's just, was he gonna lead you to hell, purgatory,
negativity, or negativity or motivation?
Because those who was gonna follow him regardless. And I'm talking about players on the team. They're gonna follow him regardless. It's just about where he wants to lead them to.
When he started talking trash the first year, they started talking trash the first year.
Exactly.
Tell me something. Is it weird that we don't miss Landry?
I miss Landry.
Oh, we do miss Landry.
Yeah, I miss Landry.
I haven't heard anybody even talk about him.
There's only been one game. That was the last game. We needed him in that game. And he went out the game before. He was in that game before.
We've been talking about 45 minutes and we haven't even mentioned him.
Well,
because I don't even know when he's coming back. I don't want to. Yes, I don't know. That's like having an ex, and that's like having an ex and she leave, and but we ain't talked about your ex, and I don't know when she comes back.
Right.
Me and the dog right now, so we're gonna talk about the dog.
Yeah.
With the Landry situation, I think that had Landry played last week, it would have probably been 21 or 28 to 7. Really? He's that big, a motivator, a piece of our offense. And he make the plays. He keep the chains going. He scored touchdowns. We just such a run dominant team right now.
Yeah, his name came to mind when you were talking about leadership on the team. Because to me, he's very accountable. He don't complain if he gets overthrown. You know what I'm saying? You don't see him. Oh man, you overthrew the dog. You don't see all of that BS. You know, he just. The ball too far, he don't catch it, he get back up, he run back, and he, on to the next play. He got a real short memory. about stuff like that, and I love that about him. I feel like that's leadership.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the even keel. He keeps Odell in check.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
the one player that can walk up to Odell and say, "Chill out," and Odell will listen.
Because they boys.
Exactly. And that's kind of been a balance through their careers, even at LSU, coming in and out. And even with Baker can tell Odell to chill out. Odell gonna chill out, but he's not gonna take it the same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When Landry said he don't take it so personal.
And Landry also has another benefit because he's actually helping to develop those other receivers just by his presence. Just by his presence and his gameplay.
We say that a lot. We say that a lot.
Him and Odell doing that.
We say that a lot when veterans play with younger players. I think to an extent that's true, but sometimes younger players is gonna be who they're gonna be.
But I don't mean their attitudes. That's not what I mean. What I mean by is them actually playing football. Those other guys, Higgins and them, is catching the ball with their hands.
And
a lot of guys be catching it with their chest. If you watch football, a lot of guys be catching it with their chest and dropping it. They catching the ball with their hands, and that's a Landry and Odell Beckham thing that they do. Because a lot of folks ain't doing that, and that's important because if that ball is in a certain place, you need to be able to go get it and not wait for that ball to come to you and it get picked off or it bounce off you and you start running before you need to be able to catch it with your hands. And that's something he's doing just by. I remember during that first year, during the Bless 'em days, right? He out there, ran some routes or whatever. He came back and what's his name? The Baker's boy.
Higgins, Hollywood.
Yeah, Higgins was like, "You cold, man." Like that's an eye opener for them. They've been playing wide receiver all their life.
Yeah.
But they seeing this dude play, and it's like it's another level of the way Landry plays football.
I mean, Landry, in a way, is kind of a throwback. I'm gonna put a name out there. I'm not saying that Landry is that name, but Chris Carter, Jerry Rice, they caught with their hands, and Landry, because so many receivers nowadays don't catch with their hands. It's such a rarity. A lot of receivers do catch with their body, and that's why you need such a great quarterback to put the ball right where they need it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You got what? I mean, just off thinking of it, you got 32 teams. You got 2 receivers to a team. That's 64 receivers, and then if you get into depth, you might have 128 receivers in the league, right? Mm-hmm. You probably got 32. You probably got 32 that's actually catching with their hands. That's like one per team. If it's one per team, some teams got 2, so that means one team ain't got none. You know what I mean? So a lot of receivers, especially coming out, I mean, they big, they fast, and all of that, but they're not catching with their hands. And if they is catching with their hands, there's a lot of the glove is helping them, but it's still that's not what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So I think when it comes back to the Browns, we have Odell, because I know you was talking about getting rid of Odell. No. He's
kind of like the Kyrie. I feel like he's almost kind of like the Kyrie of the Browns because he's kind of a distraction.
I feel like Chad Johnson. I don't see him no different than Chad Johnson.
I don't see the distraction other than people making him a distraction. I haven't heard Odell do anything to be a distraction since he got here.
I don't think he's a distraction. I think it's football. The way he played football.
If I
distraction because of his name.
Exactly. I think
people are like Odell should be one of the best receivers in the NFL right now. He should be probably top 10, top 15, and he's not even on anybody's radar as best anything. You know what I mean? We're talking about Odell Beckham. You know what I'm saying?
Because he hurt all the time. If you look at, and that's really because when he on the field, he produced. I mean, everybody have a bad game, and Baker had a bad game. When you got a quarterback that have a bad game, receivers is gonna have bad games.
Yeah,
I mean that's just what it is. Especially when you look at that Minnesota game, Baker was not even close. This was the worst game I've seen Baker play.
Agreed.
Probably ever. I mean, even going back to college, I don't think I've seen him play this bad.
Really? Yeah, it was bad.
And the
only thing he didn't do was he didn't throw an interception.
He didn't because he threw it so far out of range for anybody to catch it. Which was a good thing. Right. Like, whoa.
Where is he?
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I seen a ref ask our coach, like, was I supposed to be in?
Right, like I ain't got no jersey, but you need me, coach. But Baker was so off target last week that I just have to chalk that up as a bad game. I can't even say.
Yeah, and I think he'll bounce back this week and make it really. I think it's gonna be this. I like when he. I'm telling Rob, I like when he play mad. I like when he mad, like when he plays. I love when he mad.
Well, you know,
right,
he got no choice. Go ahead.
Before you came on, we were talking about how they had that 7 or 8 play stand in the red zone where they finally end up scoring on a run, but they kept trying to pass it. Sleep was trying to say they was trying to get some touchdowns on the board for Baker. What, to like lift his confidence? Why'd you say they wanted to get him a touchdown?
Because they had 7 tries at the goal line.
Yeah, and they kept
7 tries trying to get in there, and they couldn't get in there, and they kept throwing.
I still hear you.
Why are you throwing the ball? Like, where the ball
right, exactly.
Okay, well, tell your mother.
You know, and just, I mean, I know they don't want Odell. I'm sorry, they don't want Baker trying to like do any sort of quarterback sneaks with an injured shoulder. But still, though, you know, you got a lot of beef in that backfield that's hungry for touchdowns, and we decided to throw it 3 times, and it was like, what are we doing?
Well, I you know, Stefanski is a great coach, right? But sometimes I've noticed this over the last 2 years, and I noticed it the year before we got him in the San Fran game. Sometimes the play calling can get away from him. I haven't pinpointed exactly if it's pressure or just he's a very aggressive coach, and I like that about him. If you notice, we go for it a lot of times on 4th down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's very aggressive in his play calling. But sometimes he can call plays that you like, why would you call that? You know what I'm saying? It's too aggressive. And
we actually end up winning because of that one time when we went for it and got the 2 points, and we ended up winning the game.
Yeah. I mean, it pays off. And I know that we are one of the new school teams. We are very analytic based. So between Barry and Stefanski, analytics show just like shooting a 3-pointer, go for it.
Yeah,
you know,
analytics say that you can make it more times than not on going for it on 4th down. So that's really giving you four tries really instead of when most teams are going for it 3 times. Now it also depends on where you are on the field too.
Where you
are
on
going
the field?
for it on your own 10. Go for it on 4th down.
What I think with our talent level, it's very hard to stop us from getting 3 yards. If it's 3 yards or less, we're probably going for it. You know what I'm saying? And depending on the case, sometimes 5 yards, we're going to go for it. Like just depending on what time of the game it is. They're very analytics based, but we do have a lot of talent that can back it up for right now. I don't know how long that's going to last. Probably as long as the talent lasts. But if they can keep drafting good and keep making wise decisions,
and people stay
healthy. As far as analytics go, and people stay healthy. But even with that, we got so much depth that even when key people cannot go out. Like we can't, like you seen us win games where our whole receiving core was out.
Right.
Cool.
We won games when Chubb and Hunt. Well, Chubb was out or Hunt was out, not both, but one of the other. We use other running backs. I mean, like, so we got talent. You know, that's why I said we're gonna win a lot of games this year based on talent alone.
Have you heard that Miles might not play this week?
That's what I heard. I was reading that today that they said he had an injury or he questionable. They got him questionable.
Yeah, he's questionable, and Clowney is questionable.
I think it's smoke.
Could be. I mean, because we need I think Chargers is basically us. I feel like we're like almost like 2 different teams, or 2 of the same teams, just in different uniforms. You know, young quarterbacks, good receivers, a good running back. You know, a hell of a defensive line. I feel like, you know, we're mirrors. You know.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say that mirror. Is it cool if I?
Oh yeah. Do you think?
Okay. I don't want to ruin the integrity of the show. Like these drunk mother, you know, they don't know nothing.
Right.
No,
Just
but
let me know if you decide to hit the icky. We're not doing that, but
no. I saved that, for the green room. That's for the green room.
right.
So,
Right.
But back to what we was talking about with I do feel like us and San Diego are mirror teams. San Diego is known for choking. Cleveland is known for choking. San Diego has a young quarterback. We have a young quarterback. San Diego's running game is not as good as ours, but their passing is a little bit better. Just on a widespread because the quarterback is better. Our defenses are both great, are both good defenses this year. We probably have a great defense. They have a good defense. I think it's going to be a real battle this year. This week coming up. I think that maybe we might have another like Kansas City style game where it's about a 60.
It's close, yeah.
To 60 to 80 point game.
Yeah, Browns are +2 on this game. So
yeah, I think we should win. We should.
Okay.
But +2 mean the San Diego Chargers was going to win by 2 points.
Right. Yeah, they have to win by more than 3 points to.
Yeah.
Did y'all know that? I don't even know. Denzel Ward got a neck issue.
Does he?
A lot of our, and it's the thing, but I think it's all smoke. I got to see it to believe it, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Denzel Ward probably sneezed like achoo.
Right. My L7 is gone. I don't know what happened.
All right.
Like, what?
So we got about 5 minutes left in the show. So we all agree that the Chargers is probably going down this week, right? Browns got them.
I think they will. I think our running game is going to be too strong for them.
Now, I want to touch on something that's not Browns, but is kind of controversial. No. Do you want to talk about it, Sleep?
I don't know.
Did I miss?
I don't know about
the day suspension.
I'm scared about this Chargers game, but I think the Browns will pull it out.
Yeah, I think the Browns are going to pull it out too. But just real quick on the Dave Chappelle special, did you guys watch it yet?
Oh, absolutely.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's the best stand-up he's ever done.
No, come on.
Best he's ever done, dude.
Come on.
I won't say it's the best he's ever done, but it's definitely
the best he ever done, man. That dude talked about topics. He talked about topics can't nobody else talk about.
I mean, he really
and made them funny.
He stuck to one topic for real. Like the majority of his show was about his battle with the LGBTQ, which I understood everything he was saying because, like he said, if you really listen to him, he's talking about us, but they won't listen, which has always been my thing with that community is that the one joke he had where he referenced how he was going to fight the transgender and then the transgender turned around and called the police.
Yeah.
Like that's been my thing all along. I can't look at LGB or whatever they call it. I can't look at it. First off, if you black and you gay, you still black.
Right.
That's first.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So we don't need to shun them, but they also need to know that they're still black. Second off, if you're in that community, you can't tell the most oppressed people in the world that we're doing something to you or punching down on you when you always have the option to run back to whatever race you're from, because the LGBTQ community is a mixture. It's a rainbow. It's a melting pot. You got blacks, whites, Asians, Latinos, all of that.
Midget.
Midget. I mean, for real, you got all of that. Yeah. And certain demographics within the LGBT community can always still run back to their roots.
Unless you're black. Unless you're black.
Because you can't run back. Mm-hmm. You can't run back.
I'm gonna say this about it as a comedian that when I perform, I'm looking to have the crowd laughing every couple of seconds. Like I need a laugh every few seconds, by something. Dave performs on a completely different form of logic as far as how he performs. He's lightweight trying to educate you with hard information, but make it funny at the same time being edgy. You know what I mean? It's outside of like a Cat Williams who's who trying to make you laugh with everything he say. You know what I mean?
No, don't do that to Cat. Because Cat make you think too. But we'll keep on.
Cat makes you think too. He definitely is on that level too.
He do.
But I feel like the focus was really kind of like for an hour. I felt like only thing I remember is him talking about either trans or LGBTQ or women. It was all sort of like in that same sort of thing. And it's so much other stuff going on.
He talked about everybody. Nobody was left out.
Well, right.
Asian, black, woman, male, white people.
Right, but where's the critical race theories jokes? Where's the Trump jokes? Where's the there's so much other stuff going on. Where's the January 6th jokes? Where's the
this dude up here, man? He talked about the Trump stuff on this last episode. None of that. You know what I'm saying? Like Dave Chappelle is on this level. He gonna leave those kind of jokes to us, right? If he talking about that kind of stuff, that stuff we gonna talk about. And he ain't working hard enough. For him to talk about the stuff he talked about, that stuff me and you can't go out on stage and talk about nothing he talked about on that show.
Yeah, exactly. I feel
he had a level up here. Like to me, he on the Richard Pryor level with Eddie Murphy and all of them, to where he could talk about topics that comics can't talk about.
I think he's above them. I think he's.
Yeah, I think if Eddie did that exact same set, Eddie would be canceled.
Well, you know what? Eddie, as great as and as funny as Eddie is, he never attacked any controversial subjects.
Oh, you serious?
I mean, come on, think.
Norton.
Yeah, he talked about gays. He always talks about gay folks.
But at the time that he did it, that was not controversial.
Yeah,
that was the status quo. Everybody, everybody looked down on gays at that time. Or that was a public perception, rather. It was more of a hidden agenda. It was more of a hidden closet type of thing. You couldn't just be openly gay back when Eddie Murphy was doing this.
Right.
Yeah, that was a whole joke about that. Like, what if behind doors? You know what I'm saying?
Right. What if Mr. T was gay?
Nowadays, Little T would, Mr. T would be openly gay. And if you said something about it, you'd be wrong. You'd be like, how dare you? You know what I'm saying? But you like, wait, he got a mohawk and gold chains. He beat motherfuckers up and he gay? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you would be wrong to question that. Like nowadays, you know what I'm saying? Where back in the days, it was just pure comedy.
All I'm saying is I think we're giving Dave Chappelle a pass on some stuff that is.
Well, it's
we got to remember, it's social, but it is comedy too. And I feel like I wasn't sitting there rolling. I felt like I was sitting there kind of like
my gut was busted.
Okay, that was funny. I feel like I was like
I felt like he needed to use his platform so he can clear whatever that LGBT community was saying about him. Well, he did it in a creative way and explained, gave some information on it. So that's go open it up to where he not trying to be canceled all the time. Yeah, and he talked about everybody. I think he talked about and even got hard on white people. He got hard on white people.
What was the joke that had you rolling though? Like, was there one joke that had you like,
look, I'm gonna tell you right now, because I watched it so late. Because I tried to watch it with my fiance, right? Mm-hmm. But she get off work and it's so late. I tried to watch it with her, and we watched it, and I think this is how funny it was. I'm watching it with her, and for the first 20 to 25 minutes, I'm dying laughing. And then within 60 seconds, I was asleep. Because I was so tired from the day that I was laughing so much, and it was so tired from the day that he took me out before I could even finish the special. I had to watch it the next day to actually look and catch everything he was saying and keep laughing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it had me laughing so hard.
Yeah, man.
In the first 20 minutes, that it took all the energy I had left. I didn't expect it to be that funny.
His misdirection was brilliant when he was talking about the lady, and he was like, and I said, shut up.
Yeah, right.
She does know me.
Like, how did you see my act? Did you go on video? Or did I come to your car and start performing? What the fuck? Like, you follow me to my car for this shit. Like, I think as a comedian, to me, Dave Chappelle he's like a George Carlin for this decade. You know, George Carlin, if y'all not familiar with his work,
yeah.
George Carlin, okay.
He pushed the envelope.
He pushed the envelope. He pushed the envelope for us too.
For everybody. Yeah, he was white and he could do that and get away with it. And I think Dave Chappelle, you know, being around Paul Mooney's and the Charlie Murphys and all the people he'd been around growing up, because you might remember Dave Chappelle got in the game early and was seen kind of as talented very early. He's been around a lot of comedians. He kind of learned his path, his lane, and this special in particular was just him wrapping up, as he was saying, my body of work on Netflix. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't really about him keeping current trends or current culture going. It was more about him answering all the questions that maybe was asked from the first 5 that he did.
Do you think he came off a little arrogant in this one?
I think that when you're the greatest, you're always gonna be arrogant.
I think he came off like Dave Chappelle. I think he came off with nothing less than what I would have expected from Dave Chappelle. Like, I would expect Dave Chappelle. If Dave Chappelle went out there and just started talking about regular stuff, I would actually be disappointed. I expect him to push the envelope on stuff.
Like if he did family jokes or jokes about going to the grocery store.
No. He can't do that.
Store,
I think he's past. Like, he's not. He passed that. He's like
Nobody looks to him for your average humor. Nobody looks to him for safe humor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if y'all. I'm pretty sure y'all are, but like Tom Segura, right? Have you ever watched any of his comedy?
I heard him.
I watched some football games on Seguros.
No. Segura.
Oh.
Tom Segura. Sleep.
I thought you meant in Spanish. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, let me get in the mic like a wrestler. Me and you, brother. Hey, but you know, his jokes is Dave Chappelle. I don't think nobody goes to any of his shows or goes expecting safe comedy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the white folks that was in there knew what they was getting when they walked in.
Oh yeah. You know what? It's just like Paul Mooney. I went and seen Paul Mooney twice when he came to Cleveland. White people would get up and walk out the show, and that's what he was trying to do. Those people didn't know what kind of comedy they was walking into, because for Paul Mooney audience, the exposure wasn't there like that, so they didn't know. They knew a little bit from Dave Chappelle, and he'd been with Richard Pryor, but they didn't know that he was, when they came to his show, he was gonna lightweight attack them. You know what I'm saying? And try and make the ones who wasn't supposed to be there get up and leave. Because no, this is not a safe show for you. This is not a safe place for you to laugh at niggas or laugh at black folks and say that it's cool. You know what I'm saying? No.
I think I'm gonna watch it again tonight, because when I watched it, I just wasn't blown away, and I felt like it was almost too edgy. I mean, you could hear the crowd literally go when he said that his friend had killed himself.
And I love that.
And I'm like, and then he like immediately went into a joke about it like afterwards. And I was like, wait a minute, this roller coaster got like some hell of a turns in it. But, you know what I mean? It's like you sad for a second, and then he's like making a joke about it next.
I just want to say two quick things. I want to say two quick things.
I want to say two quick things. Because I got two long things to say.
One, I think Dave Chappelle took it back to original comedy, because comedy used to always be to tell the news. You know what I'm saying? And make it funny. That's what comedy used to be. That's where it came from, was being able to tell. We told the news. We was newscasters. That's why them canceling us, that for comedy, that shouldn't even be a limit. That shouldn't even be in the things of people that you should cancel is comics, because they should be able to have the ability to say everything. So that's one. The second piece, I believe, is I really believe, this is what I believe. I believe he got homeboys just like we got homeboys. I believe he was putting a special together. And he was like, he had his homeboys like, write down some stuff. I dare you to say something about this. And I dare, because he picked like 10 of the top things that you probably shouldn't touch, and touched them and did something funny on it. And I think that's like, because like when he would like when he talked about the Asians, and he'd be like, Like he would do something like that. I believe it was like he was checking, almost like he was checking a box. Like
yeah.
Well, you know, I think that counter what you're saying. I think that see, I'm not a comedian, right? Like y'all been on stage, y'all have done comedy, y'all do that. But some things are just life. And some parts of life are funny, some parts are not. Now with Dave Chappelle, I think that he just at such a level. I watched the interview. He said he don't even write no more. He just go on stage and talk about what he think is funny, and he see how the crowd reacts. Now back to what you were saying.
You can see him do that. You could literally see him do that a couple of times.
Yeah,
he would tell a joke and kind of look around like, okay,
because it might. But he
watch it again. You could see him literally look around like, okay.
That's where the confidence come in because he knows he's so funny.
That he about to
one joke bomb, I can bring another one to bring him right back. But he keeps it at a level of focusness of, I'm not going to bring you too political. I'm not going to bring you too conscious, but I am going to make you think. Because when he asked, can a gay person be racist? Of course.
That was one joke he said. I couldn't even remember what he said, but when he finished, he said something, and he was like, hear me out. And then he like went into I can't remember which one it was, but like that was like a prime example.
That was I think that was the joke that Rob was talking about, where he talked about the girl or the shem or the transgender. I don't really know what proper pronoun to use for him.
His friend,
but his friend, we say his friend, who killed herself after the show he did when he did Sticks and Stones and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But she killed herself. But like you said, man, I was trying to work with her. I was talking to her. That was like one of my favorite people, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because she understood what it was. Mm-hmm. It is funny. Because you know what? It don't matter if you cut your dick off and put a pussy on it. You're still not really going through the same things a woman has gone through her whole life.
Mm-hmm. You
made a choice, and okay, that's cool with your choice, but you're still not really a woman. You may feel like you're a woman, and you can be presented as a woman. Fucking, what's her name? Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner. Is that his name now? Bruce Jenner is Caitlyn Jenner, right?
Caitlyn, yeah.
Woman of the year. You've only been a woman for 6 months.
Right.
How ridiculous is that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
and how hard is that to take that away from a woman who could have got that award?
Well, here's the thing. The thing that I like about Dave Chappelle saying that is that we do have a right to have a different opinion than society. Yes, I feel like the way it is right now, and I talk to my daughter about this a lot, I don't like Lil Nas X. And it's not because I don't like gay people. I just think he's way overboard. You know what I'm saying? I don't like certain. It's not my taste. You can't make me like it. You know what I'm saying?
He just came out and said that he don't want to be gay no more.
Lil Nas.
He said he got bored with it. I mean, that's a rumor I heard.
Well,
but this is my thing.
Regardless, I just feel like some of this is going way over it. And it's not that I hate gay people or anything like that. I have a right not to like some shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? I feel like the way society is right now, if you say, I don't like that, or you homophobic. No, I don't like it.
I just don't like it. It's not for me. It's not for me.
It's like it's off limits to say you don't like stuff anymore.
Even with Lil Nas X.
Huh?
Like this is the thing that killed me. And I'm gonna touch a subject that I probably shouldn't touch. All right.
You might want to stop the recording.
All right.
No. Whoa! Before we stop the recording, we're gonna go off script with this, and then we address it next week.
Okay.
The fight this weekend. Does anybody have any predictions? I definitely wanted to touch that before we.
I think the Browns go win.
The Browns. I'm talking about the fight, man.
That's gonna be a tough fight Sunday, man.
Right. Part 3 of Wilder and
Wilder and Fury. Any boxing opinions here?
I think Fury gonna beat him again, honestly, because Fury is a better boxer.
He is.
Boxing beat brawling any day. Now I don't know if Wilder has gotten better at boxing. You know what I mean? If he's gotten
Exactly.
better at defense and countering and stuff like
Yeah.
that, then he'll be fine.
And
But
Fury is so
a
much
better
bigger.
boxer. Fury's just
He's
a
a-
better boxer, man.
He's a better boxer. He's bigger. He's more of a ring general. He can control
Yeah.
the ring a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I do.
I hate to say
like,
that too, man, because I like Wilder.
I like
really
Wilder
do.
too. You know,
He
I
like
think that-
when people first told me about it, they was like, "Did you know LeBron James was boxing?" I was like, "LeBron James ain't boxing." Then I saw a picture of him. I was like, "Is he?"
he done put on cornrows and everything. He into it. He truly is the greatest ever. He's an actor.
Right. Like, forget about playing tight end. He got a good right hook.
Right. He knocking him out. Like, but I think Fury messed up because what he was supposed to do before he went back and challenged Wilder, where he messed up. Instead of going back and challenging Wilder, he was supposed to intercept Joshua.
Oh yeah,
And
Joshua
get those
did his ass
belts.
whooped last week by Russian though.
Yeah, he was supposed to intercept that fight and say, "Look, I'll fight you." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He could have got the belts from Joshua, and then made it really worth something when he fought Fury.
Right.
Got
a bigger payday.
Exactly, a bigger payday, and just make it worth something. Because Fury don't even want to fight him. Fury, and that's what I think is going to be the problem. If I'm to believe what I seen at the weigh-in and the press conference, that because Wilder know how to box. It just once you become so dependent and so dominant on what worked. We seen it happen with Tyson. We seen it happen with a lot of boxers. When you realize you ain't got to do all that extra shit, I can just hit them with 1 or 2 punches, and most fighters is going down.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you rely on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Wilder got so reliant on that right hand that he stopped boxing.
Stop working on it's his technique falter.
Yeah. If this new trainer has truly brought the technique back out of him and showed him how to fight a bigger man, because I mean I'm sure he don't fight a lot of bigger fighters. I mean he hasn't. It's not a lot of bigger fighters than Wilder right now and Fury. You're not facing a lot of big fighters with technique. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think this week I'm with you, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Wilder is gonna lose again, but I really hope that he win, man. Just for the culture, man. Just do it for the culture. You know what I'm saying?
Punch his chin, because anytime you could punch as hard as he can, and I heard he actually put on 20 pounds. You know, just so he's not pushed around as much.
Right.
Fury. So if his footwork is better,
is that pushing him out? Is that pushing him out his lane though?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you remember you might have put that weight on, and it might be good in the first 3 to 5 rounds, but you got to carry it.
Yeah, and 20 pounds
from
if you
5 to 12.
Yeah, you pick up a 20 pound dumbbell, it ain't no joke. So
hey man, I lost 10 pounds and felt like I could jump across rooftops. You know what I'm saying? like
right.
So you know, if it's 20 pounds of good muscle and athleticism, then okay. Yeah. And if he's really been preparing himself like you say, but you're not going to outbox a boxer with a lucky punch.
Yeah. I do feel like the one thing that Wilder said was that something was going on with Fury's gloves in the last fight. And I do kind of feel that way. It did look like something was going on kind of fishy with his gloves. But for the most part, you could just see him get outboxed. He was just getting punched way too much. He couldn't stop the jab.
I mean, he wore a 50-pound costume to the ring.
Yeah, don't do that this time. Just put a towel over your head like Tyson.
Meanwhile, Fury is getting carried to the ring, wasting no energy. Like, it looked like a disaster from the jump. Like, how strong do you think you are? You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck who you got rapping for you.
Yeah,
how much black pride? Come on, man.
Yeah, he had way too much. I'll end with this. I'm getting tired of brothers getting beat up in the media by these white dudes. What's happening right now? You know, we had Nate Robinson get knocked out, and
right.
We just had what's the dude that just lost to the other Jake somebody
to the other Paul brother.
Yeah, the
you know
MMA.
Tyson. I guess Tyson saying he will fight one of them.
Well, you got to be a damn fool to get in there with Tyson. I'm sorry. I mean, I know Roy Jones did it, but Roy Jones basically ran for the 8 rounds or whatever.
But you know what? Roy Jones is a professional, and he know how to get out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. Roy Jones was like, "Hey, I ain't trading with this dude. I'll get in there."
Right. I'll throw a couple jabs and get on my move, get on my bike.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying? And even at the end of that fight, Roy Jones was holding his sides. He said everything hurt.
Yeah, like, dude, I would be scared to get in the elevator with Mike Tyson. I'm not getting in the ring.
Like, man, look, Tyson is not somebody that you want to play with. Even you remember the old man on your street that nobody wanted to fuck with?
That had that weird knuckle that was like in the middle of his hand.
Right. Had a weight bench on his porch and shit. you know, boy, you get over here, work out. You said you gonna work out with him. And you go over there, work out with him for 20 minutes and felt like you just spent 10 years.
Right.
I personally don't think Mike Tyson can beat Apollo Creed's son. So
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. Hey, he did beat T'Challa.
Y'all fools, man.
He got that one under his belt. Is this your king?
All right, y'all.
That was Black Panther, bro.
I guess that's been our show for this week, y'all. We went over a little bit, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's Chappelle talk, and maybe we'll go off book a little bit more. We'll see what the people say in their comments and stuff. So, do you guys have anything else to say before we wrap up?
Go Browns, man. We got to get this.
Yeah, we got to think of a name for this show. If anybody's still watching, give us some suggestions for a name for the show.
Yeah, I thought of a name, but then I remember where I got it from. So I was gonna say Round and Brown, but we can't do that.
Yeah, I think that might be copywritten.
Yeah, I think they already got one. That one. I said, anyway, damn.
Man, this has been the Unnamed Brown Show, and we'll be back next Friday, man. Y'all be safe.
For sure.
All right, I'm ending it now.